traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix, and you're listening to the week ahead video for March 5th, 2017. And I want to welcome you all here. I'm so glad that you're all listening in because we got some things to talk about. It's still a pretty choppy environment as far as the dollar goes. Just going back to last week. Last week it played out probably as expected for a lot of people. I mean, with the dollar was aggressively bought as the Fed marched the Fed governors, most of the Fed governors out and had them all speak, and they're all very hawkish. And as you can see, the dollar was kind of building up with some very bullish momentum going into Friday. Everybody expected Janet Yellen to be hawkish, and she was. She delivered. Everybody now thinks that March is a foregone conclusion as far as a rate hike. And what happened? The dollar sold off. Well, we got that's a classic buy the rumors, sell the news. And we really rejected a key technical area at the 102, which is the 618 retracement, and we've come off, that those highs. And this is some dark cloud cover from a technical perspective, so we might see some further dollar selling, especially going into the beginning of the week. You look at the precious metals, you look at some of the dollar pairs, and you can see that the dollar looks like it's going to be on its back foot probably at least for a couple of days. But remember, this is non-farm payroll week. We do have NFP actually on Friday. We have Canadian jobs report on Friday as well. And then we also have the ECB on Thursday. So, the dollar, we might see some weakness at the beginning of the week, but are we going to get some follow through towards the end of the week? That's going to be, more data dependent rather than I think any type of technical formation. So, this is just another week of very choppy waters for the dollar. So that's why myself, I'm again, once again, I'm focusing on other things rather than the dollar. And late on Friday, with the help of the ForexAnalytix team, we did post a blog, and and the blog is free to access for anybody. You don't have to be a ForexAnalytix subscriber. And we do try to post, a couple of times a week if possible. But if you take a look at the Kiwi dollar, and I don't need to read all through this with you because you guys can obviously do it yourself, what you'll notice is the Kiwi is starting to look weak against a lot of different currencies. Now, this is the dollar, and we have a nice, upward sloping channel for the last couple of years in the Kiwi. So obviously we're approaching channel support, and that's against the dollar. But take a look against some of these crosses. I mean, here you got the Kiwi yen double top. Okay, double top, could lead down to this, support at 77 yen. Here's the Euro New Zealand. The Euro New Zealand, we've got a descending wedge. That's a reversal pattern. A lot of momentum coming out of here, especially if you start looking ahead towards the, French elections. If it looks like Marie Le Pen is not going to be, really be much of a factor. Maybe the euro continues to squeeze. The cable, here's the pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand's breaking through this triangle, at least probing it. If all the if the Brexit, coming in the next couple of months is already for the most part priced into the cable, perhaps the Kiwi starts losing some strength against the pound, and you can see the RSI is breaking out as well. You got the New Zealand Canadian false breakout late last year, 200-day moving average. We're approaching some support here. We could see the New Zealand Canadian continue to pull back. Again, this is all Kiwi specific, and here's the Aussie New Zealand. Now we have the RBA rate decision on Monday night. If the RBA starts taking cues from the Federal Reserve and say, they start thinking, well, we got the Fed that's raising rates, as long as we don't have a massive trade war between China and the U.S., perhaps they start looking to normalize monetary policy sooner rather than later. Maybe that will be a leg up for the Aussie New Zealand. So you can see the Kiwis kind of breaking down against a lot of different currencies at this point. And for that reason, I think it's important that we keep an eye on the Kiwi dollar. Maybe you just don't have to focus so much on the US dollar going into this next week. One other thing I wanted to point out is if you take a look at some of these precious metals, here, this is gold. I mean, look at the reversal that we saw in gold on Friday. We did break below some trendline support, but we created a nice little hammer, which is, that hammer formation. I think there's going to be buyers that, they're probably covering their shorts because they got stuck short on Friday down at the lows. You're probably going to see some covering going into the early next week. And here's silver. Let's go take a look at silver really quick. You can see silver also really big bounce off of trendline support. We are below the 200-day moving average, but again, this is all, it looks fairly choppy, but I don't think we can write off these precious metals just yet. That's been a nice multi-week, multi-month move really for gold and silver, and if they continue to at least hold on to a lion's share of their gains, that's going to keep some pressure on the dollar index at least in the beginning of the week. So again, it's kind of choppy as far as the dollar goes. You might have to look for trades in other currencies, and for me, I'm actually focused more on the Kiwi going into this next week. Not event specific, more technical based reasons. So again, if you guys haven't signed up for ForexAnalytix, make sure you sign up. It's $1 for 10 days to try it out. Our mobile app is in beta. We hope to have it released here in the next week or two. It's going to be great when you're out and about and you get push notifications on your mobile device, whether it's an Android or iPhone app, and you can get notifications when support and resistance levels are breached, or if we have a new setup from the ForexAnalytix team. I'm sure you guys are all excited about it. I know I am. And we will all look forward to it. So thank you so much. Have a great week. And thanks everybody for listening in. I'll catch you next week. This is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix.